after we spent a night in a hotel in the Yangtze Dam town, we came back to the river and we had to re-rig all the rafts again completely. Fortunately, there was a road that came down just past the little dam there. The truck could unload and basically had almost no carry, just a real short little carry down to the water. We inflated the rafts, put them in the water, put the coolers on, and it was right at the top of the rapid I call Ken's left turn, which is kind of after their left boulder bounce thing where they tore the floor and Paul's plea happened. And in that one they hit the right wall, and that's when Ken and one of the other guys, I think Dan Domini or some Ansel, were kind of trapped between the raft and going into the wall, and they almost got squished or plastered against the wall when they hit it. The four-boat rig was sustaining more damage. Anyway, they kept going down out of control through some more rapids and finally got to the shore around the right turn. And I know where they camped because Ansel took a photo of the rapid just downstream of what they called 5-day camp.
We cannot stop, and even I swim out, you know, and so I think everyone got scared. And we just very quiet to look at the downstream. We scared about suddenly if we got a waterfall.
What we've seen here is the water keeps moving very quickly down into that, not really any much of a break. Toward the right turn is a rapid I call Valve Rock, because looking straight down on it from a satellite image, it looks like a valve kind of plugging up the river almost. We scouted the section well as far as we could around the right bend. We took off in Ken's left turn rapid, and there was kind of a cheat route on the far left, but it was a little rocky, so I didn't want as much weight. The passengers walked around that section. We got the rafts through. It wasn't too bad. We kind of bumbled down a little bit. I hit my oars a little, but we got down. There's an eddy right below it. Just going down, and as soon as we skirted those two holes, we just moved to drive the rafts to the left. And then there's a huge hole left of center around that right turn in the out of control rapid, and we fortunately, all the rafts got to the left channel of it, and that was fairly smooth, and so we passed kind of what looked like the trickiest and most dangerous part. But downstream it just continued in big waves for a while, a short break, but really fast current kept the rafts moving. Just rapid after rapid after rapid, boom, boom, boom. Went down from that out of control into the leaderless, into the 5-day camp number 1, number 2, and then another big rapid before Ansel's carols. We regrouped at here, all of us, with Marty. Everybody's fine and safe.
Let's stop and take a look at this map for a minute. You can see immediately that there are quite a number of rapids packed together in a short stretch of river. Significant rapids. This is where the 1986 expedition met its match and fell apart. From this corner here down to this point, just below Valve Rock, is about 5 miles, and the river drops a little over 200 feet. It's about 40 feet a mile, which is probably twice the gradient for most of the rest of the river from Yushu to Batang. So it's definitely a steeper stretch. It's definitely constricted. It's in a canyon for the most part, and there are certainly obstructions in the river. All of these are elements for significant rapids when you add in the volume of the flow coming down here. So the very first rapid in this stretch is called Paul's Plea. I guess Rocky named it that, and let's talk about that for a minute. What does that mean? In 1986, during the last few days of the expedition, I was acting as a scout in my kayak, going ahead, scouting rapids, radioing back, and when we came to significant rapids, of course, I wanted them to stop and take a look. They were running with their 4 rafts tied together, and that didn't give them much control. I think it probably saved people's lives, but it also damaged the boats bad enough that it brought an expedition to the end. So here at Paul's Plea, it's the first rapid in this canyon stretch of significant rapids, and I was ahead of the group. I knew I wasn't far ahead at that point, and so I couldn't see into the rapid without either getting out and looking at it from shore or getting into the rapid itself. So I got out, but I knew the guys were right behind me, and I radioed back and said, "There's a big rapid here. I haven't had a chance to scout it. You need to catch the eddy on the left because the rapid looks big." They didn't catch the eddy. They went out of control into this first rapid, and then they basically careened down the next several miles out of control, getting absolutely hammered by these huge rapids and putting the fear of God into everyone, and eventually the trip fizzled out. Even our 2019 expedition had significant problems in this stretch of river, which we'll get into. That confirms that this is quite the stretch of whitewater. Now we can take a look at an image from 2015 looking down the river from the top of this canyon stretch, and if we look at a drone shot from 2019, you can see that that top rapid is gone. They have rerouted the river. It shoots out at the side of the wall. They started the process of building a mega dam here. So yeah, I guess if someone were to ask me what was the most significant change in any particular rapid, I'd have to say this one, because this was a big rapid back then. It was one of my only 2 portages in 1986, and now it's gone. So that's kind of wild.
We're -2 oars now, and the Valve Rock Rapid is big and burly. There's 3 potential lines. It looks like the best one for us in the raft is on the left side in the left channel. There's a center line where most of the water goes, and that goes into a giant crashing wave and then backed up by a really nasty pour-over hole. I think our plan is to take these rafts down into this left eddy just right above it. We're going to try and push or row the rafts through that left channel, maybe having a kayaker with an oar or something, make sure we get to the right and miss a rock that's being covered with. And from there, the rapid, I scouted with the drone around the bend, goes on a long ways. There's a big central crashing wave at the start, but other than that, it just looks like a class 4 wave. Predicament.
Somewhere along the stretch of rapids that we called out of control, the raft that Marty was in flipped, and he came out, and now he's in the water swimming. The raft that he'd been in had some problems and was unable to catch up to him. Now, as kayakers, it was Sam's and my job to find him. Unfortunately, the flip had happened downriver from us, ahead of us. The current's moving fast, and the rapids, they're coming one after another. I know what my swim was like and how hard it was to get a breath, and I swam for a much shorter time. So now we're really concerned about Marty. Are we going to find him? You know, it's possible we could pass him by if he's on the shore somewhere, you know, unable to even stand up because he's so exhausted. So it's stressful and challenging, and we're running these rapids blind because we haven't had a chance to stop and scout. We're doing what's called boat scouting, where you read the rapid as you go. But it's hard to do that and look for Marty at the same time.
Marty! Marty! Marty. Thank God, man. Thank God, dude. Getting out. You guys were out of control. You guys were, yeah. The way they were rafting was out of control. Oh my God. Let it go, guys. Just radio them. Hey, just letting you guys know I found Marty. He's okay.